Looking for the right answers to hard and sometimes confusing global events? Look no further. SSM's team brings unique perspectives from across the globe. Our in-depth independent reporting is to make you better understand the world as we evolve.
Good afternoon, good day, viewers around the world. You're welcome to SSM Friday World Affairs. This is a Friday news updates that we do at this point in time. My name is Godwin Iwejuwa, and I'm here in the Milan studio, Milan, Italy, Southwest Europe.
And I am here. I'm here with Mike Godwin, also all the way from Toronto, Canada. And we want to say greetings to all our viewers from around the world on this beautiful day while we celebrate Democracy Day. Thank you for being here with us.
Wow, George, you just dropped the bomb. Democracy Day. I was going to come to that too. I said, let's do this. So yes, viewers, Nigeria today celebrates Democracy Day, like George just said, June 12th. June 12th is a day Nigeria has kept aside to observe annually as a day that commemorates, I think it's the 1993 presidential election. So this Democracy Day is a national public holiday in Nigeria now. People are at home. But interestingly, too, people are protesting because, George, let's talk. Are we truly in a democratic society in Nigeria? Is it really democracy as the word stands?
You know, let me tell you something. Democracy came to us, from different parts of the world. I think it started in Greece and, spread around to Italy and around the world. But, when you go to different parts of the world today, they celebrate democracy. And whether it's a true democracy or pseudo-democracy or shady democracy, but it is all called democracy because Russia also said that they have democracy. Some other countries have their own style of democracy. Sometimes you will have democracy that is painted or shaded or manipulated or that is even, I don't know. It's just culture can enter into democracy. And in Nigeria, we are multifaceted when it comes to culture, different kinds of people from different areas, Muslims, Christians, and different parts of religion. So those things does affect the democracy in our country. A degree. Whether it's pure as it's supposed to be, we don't know. Because recently we have seen democracy in the US, the leader of the free world, is being shaded to a degree. So, when we talk about democracy, it's not coming in its purest form. Any part of the world. So,
George, this is excellent talk here. I will make this go viral, what you just dropped here. But some of us say otherwise. But George, let's hold on there because we have also joining us all the way from the United States, a friend of ours, one of the panelists, new member here, Dr. Charles. Dr. Charles, I'm trying to see if his network will connect. Dr. Charles, are you? Yes. I can't see you, your visuals, but I can hear your voice. Is that something we can do about that? Yes, George. Charles is joining us.
I will try to.
Yes, all you need to do is probably remove the maybe there is a cover to the camera or something. Maybe the camera is not open. So we would really like to hear you. So viewers,
Yeah,
one thing.
I'm getting an
Can you? I think it's the lens, the camera, whatever,
yeah,
maybe the phone camera or something.
There's no cover.
Coverage. Oh dear.
No, it's not. There's no cover.
There's no cover. Because what we're seeing is a blank brown
I see. Yeah.
wallpaper. Okay. So anyway, I think it can be adjusted. So viewers, one thing we do here is SSM has a critical value, and that value is collaboration. We encourage team players. We collaborate with each other on content ideas and production. So in every of our broadcasts, we put in our best performance and content as we both collaborate, like we're doing at this point in time. So Dr. Charles will join us once I see the camera view open. He will be here. So George, yes. You made an excellent line earlier on, defining democracy in the Nigerian context. You're trying to say that yes, it's not pure as it should be, but we are practicing our own kind of democracy. But George, hear this. But we still need to follow how it's done, how the West do it. And somehow, like where you are, it's even if it's not pure, it's still orderly. It's still decent. I mean, you still see well-aligned structures, well-defined things. You know, it's not cranky and wild and rough like what we really have in Nigeria. So, what do you think?
Well, I mean, to be very frank with you, like for instance, I will tell you, I live in Canada right now, and we have a parliamentary system which is working very well. We've never had any issues regarding manipulation of the election or external influencing our election. Part of the problem we have in Nigeria is external influence. And that's one of the things that makes it the way it's supposed to be. Most of our leaders are basically indirectly selected by foreign influence. And that's one of the major problems we're having in our country. And that in itself, puts a little bit of mago to our own democracy. And what I mean with that is,
mago.
Mago means, like it's shaded, it's crooked, it's not straightforward that it's supposed to be. So that's one of the major issues there. And because of that foreign influence to a degree, most of the people that are in Nigeria, or even our leaders, they are afraid of doing certain things that can affect those foreign leaders or foreign influence in our democracy. So we've seen that happen again and again and again. But in essence, really, what we also see in Nigeria when it comes to our democracy is an internal influence, which is whereby it is not being done by what we call counting the election to see who gets the highest number. We see a lot of manipulation. We see a lot of rather than giving you the number, they manipulate the numbers and then influence to favor whoever that they want to favor. So these are the little things that we need to kind of work on in order to purify and sanitize our own democracy, because it is important that the fundamentals of democracy, that we maintain it. I know it's never going to be 100%, but we need to sanitize our own democracy and ensure that those fundamentals are obeyed.
Upheld.
Yeah, upheld, yes.
Nice, George. Okay, I think he will come in again. Yeah, so what we'll do is see him coming again. Professor Charles. Yes, I think it will work. Hopefully it works this time. Yes. So George, While Professor Charles is adjusting, George, also we need to highlight that something necessitated this Democracy Day.
Okay,
You know,
that's good.
a man had his mandates stolen. I mean, I'm talking of back in the days, 1990, Abiola, MKO Abiola. He won the election as was presumed then, but he didn't get it, and that made that this day become an annual commemoration of the Democracy Day. So what we are seeing now again in Nigeria on this day today now in Nigeria, like I got real time this morning, protests are going on. People are still not. People are dissatisfied. Nigerians are really going through a lot. So they are putting out their anger, their anger on the government. What will you say? Is the protest justified on a day like today, Democracy Day?
Yeah. Protest is a constitutional right of the citizens of Nigeria. And
Okay.
if the people are aggrieved over situations that are not favorable to them, or they see the government not working the way the government's supposed to work, the people
Mhm.
have the constitutional right to go out there, and use their voices, to protest against what they consider to be unfavorable to them. So you see, now when you come to a large extent, I'm not saying that there is no corruption anywhere
Mhm.
in the world. There is a place you go to,
Mhm.
Britain, US, or wherever, where you will not see little trickles of corruption. There is
Yeah.
always going to be that. But when you have a government that cares only about themselves and not the people, and when you have a government that is operating in a way where people are not, feeling the effects of the governance, feeling the effects of the democracy, or feeling the effects of what they see that is happening,
Mhm.
they have the constitutional right to go out there and protest. And, as long as it's done civilly, and the government have no right to stop them because it's a constitution. You see, one of the major problems we have in our country is some people are more equal than others. And this is not what you see in many countries. When it comes to the parliamentary system, you can have collaboration between two parties. But in Nigeria, we are adopting the American style of, governance. And therefore, the executive president, executive governor, they have the right to do certain things. But what happens with that is there is no what you call strong opposition in Nigeria because of manipulation. To a large extent, you see the government,
Yes. Every.
absorbing everything.
Mhm.
There are three arms of government in Nigeria.
That's
So
correct.
when the executive government
Mhm.
takes over and absorbs the DOJ, the
The
Department of
Department
Justice,
of Justice.
and then also the military, everybody is in their pockets. All of a
Everybody.
sudden, even the House of Representatives and the Senate, they become just like, what you call, I don't know, Americans will call it, Indians will call it shine face a representative, because
Hmm.
everybody is afraid to speak up their mind,
And that is
and they're
exactly
afraid to speak up their mind.
yes, that is exactly absolutely, George, exactly what we're seeing in this Senate, this present Senate, and the House of Rep and all of it. It's just a you call it shine face.
Shine face.
Yes, I will also say licking the boots of the presidency, the executive, because nothing is vetted. Everything just passed through and it's confirmed. It's said yes, no, no vetting, no opposition, like you said earlier, nothing. So it's a problem when our democracy is like this. The few mouth that becomes opposition, somehow they shut them down. You know,
Exactly. If you rise up
yes,
in the Senate and speak
uh-huh,
up against
uh-huh.
something,
They,
all
they
they
Next
gang up
day,
against you.
EFCC will come for you. Next day,
They gang up
the,
against you.
the police will come. Something will come against you, and you find yourself helpless.
So what is happening in Nigeria right now?
Yeah,
is
tell
the
us.
style of democracy that is happening in Russia.
Okay.
Think about it for a moment.
Okay.
So even if they don't come against you openly, they come against you indirectly, and you will feel the pain and the pain of you coming up. Look at what happened with Natasha not too long ago.
Yes,
a woman that came up and wanted to challenge
Senator
the status quo.
Kogi State.
Yes. So, and these are the things you will understand. So everybody is afraid. Okay, if I stand up and speak up, I will be like a sore thumb, and the whole entire gang will come against me. It's almost like a fraternity. It's no longer governance where people have the right to stand up and say, we cannot do things this way, we can do it this way, because you become somebody that sticks out, and then the whole gang will come against you. So we've seen that happen and happen again. One individual that I can tell you today that I am very proud of, he's not my favorite individual, but Oshimole is from Edo State. He speaks up, and he is not afraid to do so. And that's exactly how democracy is supposed to work. All others are just mouthpieces with no strength.
But George, hear this. Sometime, with my observation in governance when I was in Nigeria, sometime that thing Oshomole is doing is even a playbook, you know, so that it doesn't look like everything just works smoothly. Every bill just goes. So there is this person that will just do like a counter attack, and it's still part of the play. It's still part of the scheme, you know, to make it look like, okay, somebody who stood up against it. Because at the end of the day, they are all still one party. It's APC. He's the president's main man from South. And I mean, he has to show that small bragado, which is not real. Yes, George, it's all part of the game. I tell you, this is how these guys are playing us. So when one of the other senators raises up an objection, he will also do his own, you know, and it will look like, yeah, okay, the Senate had some.
We're doing our job. We're doing our job.
All right, viewers, we are talking about June 12th. Today is June 12th. And today is a Democracy Day in Nigeria, a national public holiday in Nigeria that commemorates the restoration of democracy in 1999. That was after.
I want you to also see something that is going on.
Okay,
if you
George.
really look at the history of Abiola, the man that was what I would call one of the best elections that I, as a grown person, noticed in Nigeria. He won. He was loved by the North, the South, the East, the West. Everybody loved him. He played that playbook so well, and he would have been a fantastic president. But how was it happen? What did happen? And a bunch of goons from the North who feel like they were born to rule came and hijacked the election. Now I want you to see what actually took place, because what it was, because of the military influence in Nigeria, what actually took place was America did not feel that Abiola was supposed to be, was strong enough to maintain that democracy in Nigeria. Therefore, they went to prison to see Abiola. They went to prison to see the father of democracy in Nigeria, which is Olusegun Obasanjo, my friend. But when they, at the end of the day, Abiola was spied. And a strong man came out, allegedly. Abiola ended up having a heart attack. And because Muslims, they don't do autopsy, we don't know what actually killed Abiola. So, and then Obasanjo came up, but because of his strength in the military, and also because he was the only individual at that time from the military who handed over to the civilians. So he was actually honored and accepted to be the strong man that can actually take the transition from military rule to the civilian rule. And he did a fantastic job in my book.
Yeah, but before the democracy came in, remember we had Shonekon, NS Shonekon. He was the transitional president at that point while all this was happening. with Abiola and all of that. Then it moved further, and we now came into 1999 when we had our first democratic election period, and Obasanjo became the president. So what we are saying now is what we're saying again is this period we're in is critical. It's still as it is, Sir George. People are still going through the same critical moments that they've ever experienced. And it's sad that no government has really come to change the narrative. I mean, bring a little bit of succor, a little bit of good life, a little to the citizens of Nigeria. We've still been going through insecurity, George, insecurity, poverty, scarcity of food, everything that you can think of. So George, will things get better with APC also trying to stay for another 4 years? What do you say, George?
Well, we sit on the look.
Okay.
That's what it is, because I'm not going to stand here and tell you that things will change tomorrow. But the difference between now and then, in those days where things didn't used to, we didn't have CNN, we didn't have internet per se, whereby news can fly all over the place. Right now, today, the difference between then and now is today, a common man can grab his phone and see the news that is happening in Afghanistan live. They see the news that is happening in the US live. They see the news that is happening all over the place live. So when people are not doing well, you can easily compare with what's happening in UK, what's happening in France, what's happening in Ghana, what's happening in Uganda, versus what's happening with us. So people are more enlightened and more educated. So to play the playbook of yesterday's democracy in today is not working, because people are so enlightened, and then everybody can lend their own voices. Even when the government is not operating right. You see me and you now, propagating this news out there, pontificating over issues simply because of where we are technologically.
That's
so
correct.
What we need to do in our own democracy, things that used to happen in the past that did not, people did not know about it. Only when you buy your newspaper and read it, that's how you will know. Or you can also listen to the news in the evening and hear them, paint a picture that favors the government. The people that didn't know, but now they know. Now you see the youth. The youth are doing even better than most news outlets. For instance, look at what's happening with this young man, VDM. Look at what's happening with him.
Yeah, he's also part of the protest going on. He's involved. His group, he has what the man did is he has section. His organization has now become his social media activism has become like an organization. So they now have a group called the Rattles. The Rattles are minor young activists also that are part of his organization. So they all add up to what they are doing, and it's nice. It's impressive.
It's impressive, but I want you to see something though.
Okay.
How old was Gowon? How old was Ojukwu? How old was those people then who came against democracy and wanted to change the conversation when they did it that caused the Nigerian Biafran War? It is the same age these people are in right now.
That's
because
true.
they are of age and they are looking and seeing that things are not working the way it's supposed to work.
Gowon was even 28 years old when
can you imagine that?
Imagine.
Can you imagine? So you see, there is a place where you will come, an age you will come, that energy that you have, you see things going wrong, you can't just sit back.
That's correct. And that's what is happening in the north of Africa, the Sahel region, where you have all these Burkina Faso. Those boys there are just this age group too. The Malian Burkina Faso young man is, I think, in his early 30s. So it's still that age group, And that's because the energy is there, it's burning, you know. They want to see a change. They want to change what they saw their father going through. You know, some of these young people can understand how their father wakes up in the morning, goes to work, come back, and all of those life. And he's been doing it for years now. And all he has is probably a bicycle, and they wonder what is all this, George.
Exactly. Now you are budgeting, trillions of naira, but
Mhm.
it is not affecting the people.
It's not affecting the people.
The people are still suffering the way they suffered, even worse at the moment. And then you
What?
think they're going to sit down and close their mouths?
Hmm.
No, it is not supposed to be that way. So I applaud the youth, the rattles or whatever, for doing what they are doing. And the
Mhm.
government better be careful. The government better be careful, because the more you come against these people, the stronger they will get. The
Mhm.
more you come against them, the more number they will
It
increase.
will increase.
So I would think that the government ought to start changing some things that needs to be changed, start,
Mhm.
just ratifying whatever they feel the grieved young people look
I'm
into it
going through.
and change.
All right,
Because
George. Good one, George. Let's come to one of the Rattels protests. One of the criticism. One of the things they are all saying now, like on our borrowing plan. Nigerian borrowing plan has sparked intense criticism from the Rattels, from politicians, economists, even the citizens. Everybody's complaining. Everybody's wondering how come we are just borrowing and borrowing. George, let's talk about this.
I
You
I
also
I looked into this. I looked into this.
yes, yes.
Nigerian debt profile has become one of the most contentious issues facing the country today.
Mm.
And that is the reason, and the reason being that the youths are looking and saying that, okay, all this money you're borrowing, we are not feeling the effects of it. My
Can
mom is
you
not feeling the
imagine?
effects of it. My children are not feeling the effects of it.
Can you
And
imagine?
therefore, you are mortgaging our future. When President Bola Ahmed Tinubu assumed office in May 2023, Nigeria, Nigeria's total public debt stood at 87 trillion naira.
87 trillion naira.
That that's
Viewers, are
what
you
that's
hearing
what
this?
that's what he inherited from Buhari. By the
Okay.
end of 2025, that figure had climbed to roughly 159 trillion,
Mm-mm.
representing an increase of more than 72 trillion in less than 3 years. I want you to think about it for a moment, okay? Absorb this information. The latest controversy surrounds a proposed $1.25 billion World
Hmm.
Bank facility intended to support investment, job creation. But people are crying out and saying, don't give them that money, because what they have
Yes.
borrowed, we have not seen any effects of it. While
Oh,
government
no.
officials argue that the loan is necessary to accelerate economic reforms, many Nigerians are asking a fundamental question: where are the results of the previous borrowing?
That's it.
Where are the results
Strong
of the
question,
previous borrowing? So citizens continue
George.
to battle rising food costs, worsening inflation, declining purchasing power, and growing unemployment. For many
Hmm.
households, daily life has become more difficult despite the government's extensive borrowing program. So the concern extends beyond the size of the debt. The more critical issue is debt sustainability.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of these young people are crying out for. Nigeria now spends a substantial portion of its revenue in servicing existing obligations and existing loans.
Can you imagine, George? George, you're saying
Okay.
this. These are
Every
pivotal.
naira, every naira used to pay interest is a naira unavailable for schools, for hospitals, for roads, for security and social services.
Every
Supporters of the
naira.
administration argue that borrowing is a normal tool of economic development and that major infrastructure projects require long-term financing. This is what the people that are supporting the government are saying. Okay,
Crazy support, George.
I
Crazy.
know it is.
That's
I know it is.
insane support.
Okay, okay. Now, so look at this. Okay, supporters of the administration, why they arguing this? Why they're arguing it? That major infrastructure project, long-term financing that is needed, critics transformation risk mortgaging the future of generations yet unborn. All the
Born.
money you are borrowing here, after 4 years, you will step down. The same way that Bola Ahmed Tinubu inherited 87 trillion. He's added 159 and adding much more. History shows that debt is not necessarily dangerous if it finances productive investment that stimulates growth,
Okay.
generates revenue.
Okay.
The real danger emerges when borrowed funds fail to create measurable economic value. That is where the problem is. Okay. The question before Nigerians is there is not whether the country should borrow, but whether the borrowed funds are being invested in a way that it will generate sufficient economic returns to justify the burden being placed in the future taxpayers. As the debt stock continues to rise, transparency, accountability, and measurable outcome will be increasingly important. Nigerians deserve clear answers regarding
Deserve
how borrowed
with
funds are spent.
aspect. All right, George. With Nigeria deserve clear answers. That's the point. That's the
Transparency. You
word there.
don't borrow.
So
There is
yes,
a lot of question right now regarding
yes,
the increase in the borrowed money. 10 trillion,
money,
10 billion, 10 trillion naira
trillion.
was supposed to be. But when
Yes,
they borrowed 11 point something trillion. Now,
yes.
the
Okay,
question is what happens to the overage? Nobody is answering that question.
that
That is the
question.
reason why all these youths are rising up and say, we cannot continue this way.
We cannot continue this way. Not just them, everyone, every Nigerian, apart from those in governance. Now, George, you made some real highlights there. We continue to face economic hardship and deteriorating infrastructural plans and life. In fact, life has gotten a little bit worse than compared to before. And we are borrowing. So, where does the borrowing fund go to, George? What
That is
tell
the
us? You've
major,
done.
that is the reason why the writers and the youths and everybody is crying out. Because the money that you have borrowed so far, there is another one, a certain amount of money that is being borrowed from UAE.
Yes.
And the World Bank is
UAE.
crying out and say, don't touch that money because
Don't
the
touch that
people that
money.
they have borrowed,
Yes,
they have loaned those money before. We've seen what happened with that. Don't touch that money. So you see, when you begin to borrow all over the place, but the people in the middle and then on the bottom are not feeling the effects of that borrowing. We don't see any particular thing that is affecting Nigerians as a whole, the poor Nigerians as a whole. Lifestyle is not getting better.
he's not
Therefore, that's
getting.
why the people are out there crying out. So the government need to take a step back, take another look, and ensure that people can feel the effects of this money that are being borrowed. This is no longer merely an economic debate. It is a question about international responsibility and the kind of financial legacy today's leaders will leave for tomorrow's Nigerians. These
Hmm.
youth are crying out. You people will die, and then we will be the ones holding the bags of the borrowed, the consequences of the borrowed money.
Borrowed
So
fund.
I applaud them. And I am
Yes.
thankful that
So
finally we are rising up to, put the government and make sure that they are responsible and accountable for what we elected them to do.
so George, we also here will add our voice to this. It's not just the youth. We are all Nigerians. Nigerians in the diaspora also are key stakeholders to the country. So we have to increase our volume on this. And viewers, we are talking on Democracy Day, 12th of June, 2026. And some of the issues we are putting out here is the ongoing borrowing plan of Nigeria. It has sparked intense criticism. The youth are angry. Some economists are saying we are plunging into a real depth of problem for the future. And we see that life becomes even more harder. There's more economic hardship. infrastructural deteriorating. There are all kinds of problems, despite the billions of dollars in loans that we've received from the World Bank, from different angles, different organizations. George, there is this organization called Paris Club. You know, now what I also saw is the West sometimes play on our politicians. You know, they see that our politicians have this inferiority complex when they are with them. You know, so they play on that inferiority complex that our politicians have. Do you know this Paris Club that they talk? You would think is one very massive organization, big loan company that gives loans and grants and all of those kind of things, credits. But it's just a small thing, George. They're in France, small company, you know, and these are things that these are organizations that you rather call agencies, and they will come to Nigeria and treat us as if they are fantastic company out here. So when I found out who they are and how they operate, I said, "Can you imagine?" And one time we took big loan from them. It's sad, George. We just
Okay,
we're
now,
not.
now, now you see, the youth are rising up around the Sahel region.
Okay.
Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, and all these other people. They
Mm-hmm.
rose up and say, thus far, no further with France. We're not going to
Yes.
be playing that game with you anymore.
Anymore.
We've been manipulated so long that we are no longer will accept it. Yeah, our parents, our elders, you have manipulated. They are subject to you. They are susceptible to your deception, but we will not be. And
We
this
will
is
not be.
exactly what is happening with us today. Now, all of a sudden, we are embracing France because they have been fired from all other nations where they have, they have been manipulating and stealing from for many, many years. Now, we are embracing them. We are embracing them. And that is the reason. Let me tell you something. One of the major issues we have in our country,
Mm-hmm.
when we talk about democracy, is our inability, whether directly or indirectly, to
Mm-hmm.
select who the nation wants to rule them. The
Yes.
international world at large will always choose somebody they have something against so that they can hold them by the balls and squeeze it when they want to and manipulate that individual to do their bidding. But when they see a man that knows what they know, that thinks like them, these foreign countries, they will never allow that person to come to power
Okay.
because they cannot
Okay.
manipulate the individual. So, and
Okay.
that's where Nigeria needs to come now and say, okay, wait a minute. If this is the case, you guys are trying to select leaders for us, and the leaders you're selecting are not the best because you want somebody that you can have something against. So when you tell them to do something, if they refuse, you can squeeze them and manipulate them or threaten them to expose certain things about them.
Certain
So
things.
that is exactly what is happening in our country. We
This
need
is
to
it.
wake up and wash our faces with water so that soap will not enter our eyes anymore.
Anymore.
Nigeria need to choose their own leader. Nigeria knows who is best for them, not the foreign countries that are manipulating our system locally.
Tough words there, George. Tough one. George, now let's come to Democracy Day, June 12th, but still some Nigerians are going through hell in other parts of the world. Well, let's not go to that side. I saw a clip of Nigerians in Libya, but we know that Libya story. Now let's talk about the repatriation arrangements of Nigerians from South Africa. This is one thing the Rattel need to also talk about, the Gen Zs and the VDM. It's a sad thing that migration is not, it's not a crime, George. It's not a crime to take your bag and go live in another place, you know? But it becomes not too nice when the host country treats that individual like a thief, even worse than a thief. And in fact, they kill some of them. So we heard that this morning about 1,000 Nigerians are coming home. 400, they're in batches, you know? George, this is so
I
unpleasant.
am I
Yeah,
am
tell me.
very number one, I applaud Alan Oyema, AP's
Okay.
CEO.
Okay.
I applaud him. He's been one of the most admired individuals in my own sight that is
Okay.
always available to help. Always available to help. Even during the pandemic,
Always
he
available.
worked so diligently to bring a lot of Nigerians from different countries. And most of 9 times out of 10 out of his own pocket. Now, also, he is here working with the government to repatriate a lot of about 580 something Nigerians back to Nigeria. I applaud the government. When they do good, you clap for them. I applaud them. But also, let not APs absorb the cost of bringing these people back. Our president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, please make sure that this man that is bringing these people, helping you to bring them back to look good, that he is well compensated. Because it doesn't make sense for a government that is budgeting trillions of naira, and then all of a sudden an individual will come to help and nothing is happening with them. You just leave them to absorb the cost. So let us make sure that the government compensates Alan Onyema. He's helped enough. He went to Sudan and brought Nigerians when they were maltreated. He went to China and brought Nigerians back when they were being maltreated. He'd been in South Africa before to bring Nigerians when they were being maltreated, and now he's doing it again. So we applaud Nigerians, Alan Onyema, and the Nigerian government. But please make sure that these people that are coming back, that they are going to be taken care of in order for them, because it's not their fault. They have built houses, businesses, households, their families. Most of them are leaving their children to come back.
So let's give it up for Alan Onyema again.
Yes,
Do that. Let's do that.
But not only that, let's make sure that the people that are coming back, we're just not going to bring them back and let them be on their own. Let's help out. Because listen to this.
Okay.
Most of these, what you call repented terrorists, are being paid money.
Yeah.
They are being paid. They are giving wives and being paid money, taken care of by the government. Let's make sure that these unfortunate individuals that are being brought back are being helped. Because when you help them, they will become taxpayers also, and they will help, the economy in our country.
Nice. Imo State is doing something pleasant too for them. Imo State is giving them the Imo indigenes that are coming back. They are getting 1 million naira grant, start your life kind of money. And also homes are being arranged for them, the Imo State indigene amongst them. So that's a good thing to hear. And we know more individuals will come out with some packages to bring these people back home, because
so we will also applaud our Governor Hope Uzodinma.
Yes.
Thank you, Governor Hope Uzodinma. Thank you. This is what we want to hear. Thank you.
Good. So, George, we're still on June 12th issue, but we're looking at different things around democracy. George, let's come to one thing the Rattle needs to also look at again, and that is this bill to have state policing. George, you've been loud on this. Your voice has been loud. Now we had the good news that it has passed the main stage. So what remains now is I think the presidency's approval. He has to sign to that bill. Then it will now begin. They'll look for ways of executing it. But George, this bill is going to have strong opposition, like Dr. Femi will tell us. The governors don't really want this bill passed. George, tell us
whether the governors want it or not. It is a necessary thing to do. Because what it is this. You remember when our president decided that no longer are we going to send the money to for the local governments to the governors. We're going to pay it directly to the locals so that they can use that money and manage it, to improve the lives of their people. Because the governors were using it to manipulate the locals. They were
Yes.
using it to manipulate the local government chairman and all those type of things. So now,
Mhm.
whether it is working efficiently and effectively, I do not know. Because sometimes we make noise about certain things. They say we are implementing it, but whether it's working or not, I don't know. But
Okay.
that was a very important move. This
Yeah.
policing, local policing, is something that I have been crying about. You remember, almost 2 or 3 years now, we've been
Yeah.
crying. We
Yeah.
need local policing. We need
Yeah.
local
Yeah.
policing because security is local. Now, watch what's
Mhm.
happened in Aba yesterday. Watch this.
Yes.
A bunch,
The
a bunch of terrorists went
Mhm.
and kidnapped a few people. So the local people, the local youths gathered themselves together and went after these terrorists and rescued those people that were
Yes. Kidnapped.
that were kidnapped. So this tells you how important local policing is,
That's
because
it.
they were already demanding millions of dollars. And let me tell you, it is still the Islamic terrorists that are doing this, because what happened was yesterday or a few days ago,
Mm-hmm.
the DSS or whoever they were went and arrested some terrorists from the south and from the
Okay.
east. Okay,
Okay.
and they say
Okay.
they call them ESN.
Aha.
ESN. Now this is actually a manipulation from whoever that is controlling this military people. Because when they arrested all the Islamic terrorists from different areas, from Gombe, from all over,
Yeah.
they give us their names. All of a sudden, they went and arrested these terrorists
And it
with
said that.
guns and everything, and they're calling them ESN. That they
Yes. Sir.
were planning to go to schools and arrest, yeah, those people there. What
Yeah.
are their names? We need to know their names, because these are not Igbo people. They are not ESN. These people are not ESN. So what they're trying to do now is to manipulate the system and say that ESN, Eastern Security Network, are the ones responsible. They are not responsible. These are Fulani terrorists who are going around and making sure that the children that are going to Western education or absorbing Western education, they are absorbing them because they are kidnapping them and saying that Western education, that's what Boko Haram means. Boko Haram means Western education is forbidden. So
Yes.
these are the things that they are doing. They wanted to make a statement. These young people that were arrested with all these guns are not Igbos. They are not ESN. They are
Mm.
Fulanis. And the Nigeria need to stop this nonsense that they are doing. When they go to the east and they start arresting and they start blaming the locals, ESN. ESN is not going to go and kidnap their own children that are in school. That's not
Mm.
true. So
No.
they need to stop this manipulation that they are doing.
Ruin.
We need to know the names of these people
That's
that
it.
they arrested.
That, that,
Because
that,
every
that
other
this is
place
it.
they went and arrested, they give us their names, but these people, they are not giving us their names. And then they're blaming ESN. They are not ESN. They are still the same group of people going around in Benue, in Edo, and all other places to kidnap. So let's be straight in what we're doing and stop
Nice.
that they're doing against the
Nice.
East.
Nice. So, viewers, the state policing bill has scaled through a second reading at the Senate, and at this point, it means that it will eventually be. I think what comes now is the presidency's signature to it. So, we know there will be issues arising challenging that bill. We know some people will not want it to run, but that, like George has broken down, that's the secret to our insecurity, local policing.
What what we need to
Straight up.
do, what we need to
Yes.
do
So,
is to do
okay,
our own little contribution to help the government.
okay.
As this is being instituted, we can bring the pros and the cons and ensure
Mhm.
that the pros, are what is being instituted, because the governors, as much as they might be against this, we hope that is not that these state police officers are not going to be used as political pawns, to go after their enemies. That's one
Okay.
thing. That they will be independent in executing their offices. This is another thing that we need
Independent.
to
in executing their
to help
office.
them out. Yes, we need
Yes,
to make sure that it is done. Okay.
very good. All right, George. So, George, let's begin to round it up. Let's look at the opening World Cup at a glance. I know you were able to see some things there, George, but you will see from my observation, you will see that South Africa didn't have any other body supporting them except themselves. You know, no African country, nobody, everybody was for Mexico, and
If you
Mexico.
if you if you if you see my Facebook posting,
Okay.
I was wearing the mariachi from Mexico.
Wow,
I was wearing
mariachi.
mariachi. I was wearing it to support to support Mexico, and I thank Mexico for teaching South Africa a good lesson. I applaud Mexico. You know, the whole African nations are against South Africa, and thank God that they were beaten to the pulp and taught a good lesson. You know, so now their influence internationally is dwindling. It is abating. So we need to ensure that yes, you are chasing away all African nations from your country, but you are absorbing all other international people from India, from all over the world. You forgot that we are the ones. My dad paid money to help the South African apartheid. He paid money. He paid
Yes.
money towards
Well,
that.
workers
No
were,
civil servant paid money. My dad
tax
paid
were
money.
deducted. Tax were
Yes, tax
deducted
were
from
deducted from people.
their
And
pay
now
slip
all of a
every
sudden
month.
they're rising up against these nations that actually help them out. And Ramaphosa is not doing anything.
He, he, he,
He was only forced to speak when Ghana refused. When Ghana refused to renew the license for the gold mine that his brother was in charge of. That's when he stood up and started speaking. Nigeria is rising up also because they are threatening that our government are threatening them that if you continue this, we will hit you where it hurts the most, in your
but
pocket.
we're tired of those threats. We want to see
Action.
reaction because our
Action.
people are suffering now. Some of the xenophobic acts they are displaying. Big George, this has been very awesome. Friday, 12th June, Democracy Day. But let's go, George. Let's crop it up.
You don't have
Mhm.
Davido
Yes. Yeah.
wore a beautiful jacket that was
Yes.
actually, it's almost
Yes.
he was joining the Rattels, to say we cannot continue to go this way. A
Yes.
change is needed and a change must come.
Must come.
That's what. So he put the names of those. All his
Children.
jackets had the names
The
of the
cripples.
children that were kidnapped, the students that were kidnapped that are still out there. So who knows? Maybe the money they pay to these terrorists are actually the money that is being absorbed from the money that we're borrowing from international world.
Hmm.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
All
Who
right,
knows?
George. George, any other thing you want to add?
Well,
Let's.
today, as a matter of one of us, Femi Okay is in Canada.
Hmm.
So I'm going to be joining with him today. So he came to see the brother's children. His mom is here, Femi Okay. I'm going to be partying with him. So we're going to bring some news on between the lines, the pictures that we're
Nice.
going to be taking. So 'cause he's here enjoying our beautiful state, clean
Nice.
environment. So I'm here with Femi Okay today. So we
But
are
why did he come to the frame? Why didn't Femi, wherever you are, why
Femi,
did you join the frame so you can
Femi's,
talk?
Femi's mom is 85 years old, and there's
Oh,
a man that we are celebrating his birthday today. He's a pastor.
okay.
He's
Okay.
85 years old. So Femi is with the mom enjoying. So we let him enjoy his vacation. He's
Okay.
coming out
Okay.
today. We're gonna be showering and enjoying ourselves today. So look
Nice.
forward to some pictures.
Let's see clips from your end. All
We
right, Big
will.
George. George,
Yeah.
thank you for powerful updates,
Salute.
opinions. Yeah. So bring us videos, you and Femi there. And we also remember our other colleague in Nigeria that's going to bury the mom, Dr. Olufemi, also Karoli Oba. Yes, he's presently in Nigeria.
He posted that thing
today,
also.
So
our condolences to the family, and may the Lord
yes.
continue to strengthen them and uphold them and ensure that everything will go smoothly.
Yes, it's actually a celebration of life.
Yes,
Olufemi's mom was also 85. She died well. I mean, that's not bad. 85, and she's blessed with children, grandchildren, great grandchildren.
Yes.
So it's more of a celebration of life. So, Dr. Femi, if you're there, we know you watched this clip. I know you used to go back and watch all our clips, like I noticed. So, our big condolence also, praying that everything goes well. The program is the reception, the service of song, and all that you do for Mama. So farewell, Mama. All right, George.
All righty. Arrivederci.
Arrivederci. Bye-bye, viewers. Thank you.
Bye.